Hello friends, welcome to my channel Clinical Biochemistry by Dr. P.K. Prabhakar. Today we are going to talk about one of the disorder of the liver, that is fatty liver. Before going to talk about the fatty liver and other aspects of the fatty liver, first we should understand something about the liver, something significance of the liver, why liver is important. If you see the functions of liver, I mean, so what are the different metabolic properties, different character, different types of activity done in the liver. So, liver is one of the most busiest organ of our body. You can call it metabolically most active organ. So, there are number of functions is performed by liver. So, we'll say summary. So, first, liver is involved in number of metabolic processes. So, it involves in metabolism of carbohydrates. So, carbohydrates are metabolite, and ultimately we are going to get glucose. This glucose will be used in two different ways. If we are having surplus amount of glucose, it will be used in the form of glycogen, which is a stored form of carbohydrate polysaccharides. Or if you are having more surplus amount of glucose, that will be converted to triglycerides. So triglyceride will be also stored in the adipose tissue. Then it is also involved in the metabolic processes of proteins. So there are different types of different activity in the metabolic processes of proteins. Like it involves in the synthesis of non-essential amino acids, because essential amino acids we are getting from the diet. Non-essential amino acids body can synthesize itself. So that synthesis process occurs in the liver. Then it also involves in the functional proteins synthesis like clotting factors, complement components, and number of other proteins, serum proteins. It involves in the synthesis of transferrin, lactoferrin, ferritin, those proteins which is involved in the iron transports. Here I have written only the transferrin, but there are a number of other iron transporting proteins are there also. So they like ferritin, lactoferrin, transferrin, and some other proteins. Liver is also involved in the lipid transports or lipid soluble substance transportation in the form of synthesis of lipoprotein. So liver synthesizes lipoprotein will helps in the transportation of other lipid soluble substances or lipid transports. It also synthesizes different forms of proteins like globulin synthesis. Globulin is one of the major uses of globulin in our body is in the form of immunoglobulins, which gives us immunological responses, mainly in the adaptive processes. Or in adaptive processes also we are having cellular and humoral. So it is involved in humoral processes. Then it also involves in the synthesis of albumins. And albumin protein is the maximum protein what we are having. And those albumin proteins is involves in the oncotic pressure creations in the blood or in the plasma. If we are having any kind of disorders in the synthesis of these proteins metabolic processes, there are different diseases also going to happen. So these are the different diseases which is going to happen, that is bleeding disorders will be there, excess bruising will be there, ascites can be occurring, impairment of immune functions will be there, because if these are not there, globulins we don't have, or iron transportation we don't have, clotting factors we don't have, complement system we don't have, those immunological disorders can occur. uh, this can, if because iron will not be transported for the RBC synthesis, then anemia can be there, and if iron is not there, so oxygen cannot be transported, so cells will feel fatigue or tired. So these are the different abnormality which occurs if there will be drawback defect in the protein metabolic process in the liver. Other than this, carbohydrate and protein metabolic process, this also involves in production and the regulations of number of other metabolites or lipids. Like it involves in the synthesis of triacylglycerols or triglycerides, phospholipids, lipoproteins, cholesterols, acetyl coenzyme A. So these are the number of other metabolites which is also synthesized, produced in the liver, or liver regulates their synthesis. Then liver also stores number of vitamins, like all the water soluble vitamins normally we don't store in our body, because it will be, if we are having surplus amount or excess amount of water soluble vitamin, it will be washed out, it will be passed excreted through urine. But fat soluble vitamins normally we stores in our body. So we are having storage of fat soluble vitamin, and we are having 4 fat soluble vitamin. Those are A, D, E, and K. So liver stores those fat soluble vitamins normally. Other than that one, it also stores vitamin B12. Liver involves in the storage function of minerals like zinc, iron, copper, magnesium. So liver also works as a storage organ which stores number of things. Then liver also involves in the bile synthesis. Liver helps in the conversion of carotene which we get from the green vegetables, green foods, and into the vitamin A. Liver converts folic acid into 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate, which is one of the most important methyl donor in all the biochemical reactions. Liver involves in the conversion of vitamin D into 25-hydroxycholecalciferols. Normally, this 25-hydroxycholecalciferol synthesis occurs in the kidney, into the skin, and then it comes to the liver. Liver, it will be converted there into vitamin in the active forms. Liver also involves in the urea synthesis, because whenever protein will be degraded, we are going to get carbon dioxide and ammonia. Ammonia is a alkaline substance which normally we can't keep in our body. There are a number of other drawbacks that we will talk during the urea synthesis process. What are the different drawbacks can occur because of ammonia storage? So normally we don't store ammonia in our body because it leads to alkalosis and some other drawbacks. So ammonia has to be removed, and ammonia itself is a water insoluble. So we have to make it water soluble. So that's why liver converts ammonia into urea, and one of the enzyme arginase that involves in this urea synthesis process. There are 5 enzymes. One of the enzyme is arginase. Arginase enzyme is only present in the liver. That's why urea synthesis occurs only in the liver, not in other tissue. So that is another excretory process. Then liver also involves in the metabolism and detoxification. You can call it biotransformation reactions of number of other extra means which we are taking from the outside, like alcohols, drugs, steroidal hormones, non-steroidal hormones, insulin, growth factors, and some other hormones. So those will be biotransformed, detoxified, or it will be metabolized. So liver is overall doing in the immunological process, synthesis process, degradation process, biotransformation process, storage. So number of processes. So that's why liver, I have told you, it is one of the busiest organ. It is metabolically most active organ of our body. So liver is very important organ, and number of metabolic processes occurs in the liver. So now probably you have understand what is the significance of liver in our body. Now if you'll go see the fatty liver. What is fatty liver? Fatty liver is also called as hepatic steatosis. Hepatic means liver, steatosis means deposition of fat. So if you see the prevalence of fatty livers, roughly 25 to 30% of all the populations might have fatty liver disease. We are knowing or we are not knowing, but roughly this is the prevalent rate. 25 to 30% people have fatty liver. Out of this fatty liver people who is having, means out of this known means person 25 to 30%, 50% will results into the liver cirrhosis or the cancer of the liver. So they ultimately, fatty liver leads to cirrhosis. We will see that process. So lastly, 15% go for having the hepatic cancer or liver cirrhosis. Normally, what is fatty liver? If its name suggests, fatty liver means fat liver. Fat means obese. Obese means more lipid in there. So normally, liver contains only 5% lipids, and that is triglycerides. So normally, only very 5% amount of liver is triglyceride or lipids. But in case of this fatty livers, this 5% rises up to 10%. So almost lipid content in the liver is going to be doubled. So when the amount of fat is more than 10%, healthy cells, liver cells, that is hepatocytic cells, is going to be replaced by fat cells, and this activates ultimately Kupffer cells. Kupffer cells is the macrophagic cells present in the liver. So what happens? Because of different etiological factors, once liver will have more fat depositions, more than 10% or 10% or more than 10%, it fat cells is going to be replaced the normal hepatic cells. That is one process. Once fat cell is going to be deposited there, replacing normal liver hepatocytes, it is going to activate Kupffer cells. So now, so this more amount of fat deposition into the liver is called as fatty liver or hepatic steatosis. In case of normal liver cells, normal function of liver, normal case of liver, normal livers, this Kupffer cell contains lipid in the form of droplets, means it is scattered. But in the case of fatty liver, this droplets is not there. In the case of fatty liver, triglyceride droplets present in the form of entire cytoplasm. So it is not scattered, it is normally going to cover the whole cytoplasm of the hepatic cells, hepatocytes. So more liver will be there, and if more fat will be there. If more fat will be there, the normal function of liver will be affected. Now, this fatty liver is a reversible condition. Means if the regions, the etiological factors, if you remove those etiological factors, this fatty liver conditions go back to the normal. So it is a reversible condition. That is one of the important things. And in this case, large vacuoles of triglyceride accumulates into the liver cells. So it is normally there are two different conditions, either in the case of alcoholics or in the case of obesity. So the condition is also associated with other diseases like fat metabolism, like insulin diabetes. Diabetes is a disease which involves lipid metabolic disorders. In that case, also fatty livers going to occur. That also we'll say. So this is the two picture which you are going to see. This in the case of right and left hand side, we are having a normal healthy livers, which you are seeing in the color. Also in the case of right hand side, we are having a fatty liver where fat deposition will be there. So color also going to be changed and physiology is going to be affected. This is the tissue distributions. If you see the norm in case of healthy cells, and this is in case of fatty livers. So white patches, whatever you are seeing, yellowish patch, that is lipid droplets. It is almost covering the maximum places of the livers. The main cause or etiological factor of the liver is because of different regions. So it can be because of genetically we have got it from our parents. It can be because of obesity. Obesity means we are having more lipids in our deposition in our body, so that is obesity. Because of side effects of some of the medicines, also obesity increases or lipid metabolic process is going to be affected. That leads to fatty liver. So rapid weight loss can be another reasons. Fat occurs in the blood and diabetes will be there. So these are the main causes which results into the fatty liver. Now if you see the types of fatty liver, there are two major types of fatty liver. Either it is going to occur because of alcohol intake, means excess alcohol intake, so that is called as alcoholic fatty liver disorders, or if it is because of non-alcoholic, other than any other reasons which is other than alcohol, that is called as non-alcoholic fatty liver disorders. Morphologically, if you see the liver's picture in case of alcoholic and non-alcoholic, you cannot differentiate between these two. So both will have microvascular and macrovascular fatty changes in different stages. So both will have by looks, by visualizations, it will be almost same. Only etiological factors are different. So fatty liver happens results from the imbalance between the either fat production or their excretion. Normally what happens, liver synthesizes fats and that fat will be transported to the tissue. So in case of non-alcoholic fatty liver diseases, either liver synthesizes more amount of fat, means liver gets more amount of fat by synthesis or by from the extracellular cells. So if liver will have more fats, and liver cannot use all those fats, so liver fat will be accumulated. That is one of the reasons. Or liver gets the normal amount of fat, but those fats is not going to be utilized. So either more synthesis, more deposition, more lipids comes into the liver and less excretion will be there, or the getting the normal amount of lipids but excretion is less. So these are the two reasons. So liver means the non-alcoholic fatty liver is caused only either because of imbalance between the fat production and the excretion, either more production and the less excretions. So this is the situation. This is the different stages of the non-alcoholic fatty liver disorders. So it starts with the different etiological factors. Either it will be because of more turn diets, moving towards the fatty means you can call it fast foods. Because of type 2 diabetes mellitus or insulin resistance or sedentary lifestyle means less physical activity, less utilization of less metabolism of lipids. So because of that one, fat accumulates into the liver cell and it leads to the fatty liver, that is called a non-alcoholic fatty liver. Here, then if disease progresses, if it will not be corrected, it will not be repaired, then fat plus inflammation is going to be there. Inflammation occurs, scarring occurs, and it leads to, and this is non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. And yes, this is the next stage. Then if again disease more progresses, then it leads to cirrhosis, liver cirrhosis, where scar tissue replaces the normal hepatic cells, hepatocytes. So less hepatocytes will be there, more scar tissue will be there. Scar tissue means it is a dead tissue. So functional cells is decreasing and liver's physiology functions is also going to decrease. And if disease more progresses, then it is hepatocellular carcinoma, means cancers will be there. So hepatocellular carcinoma will be there. So this is the stages. So no, it starts with the fatty liver, but if it will not be taken care, it will not be repaired, it will not be managed, it leads to the hepatocellular carcinoma. So that is the ultimate thing, and people will have die. There are different regions which leads to non-alcoholic fatty liver disorders. Like one of the reason is hypercholesterolemia, means high cholesterol presents into the blood. Either body synthesizes more amount of cholesterol, or in our diet we are going to get more amount of cholesterol. So means in our blood we are having more amount of cholesterol. That is one of the more reasons. Then hypertriglyceridemia, means more triglyceride present into the blood. So that is again same thing, either more synthesis or more into the diet. Metabolic disorders, like individual with more than 3 diseases which are waist circumference of female greater than 80 cm and men more than 90 cm, means obesity will be there, diabetes mellitus, hypertension, and heart disease. So any 3 diseases there, that is called as metabolic syndrome. Obesity, where both body mass index BMI in more than 30 kilogram per meter squares, and diabetes mellitus. So these are the 5 important causes which leads to non-alcoholic fatty liver disorders. In this case, if you say this is adipocytes which normally stores triglycerides. This is hormone sensitive lipase. This triglyceride from the adipose tissue, adipocytes, is going to be metabolized, lipolysis decreases, and it will give us non-essential fatty acids. This non-essential fatty acid will be taken into the liver, and in liver we are having fatty acids which normally gives us phospholipids and other things, and that will be used for the lipoprotein synthesis. This is one way how liver gets lipids. Other way is whatever we eat through our diets. From diet, it will be converted into chylomicron. Chylomicron come into the circulations. It's going to chylomicron remnant, and come back to the liver. So all the cholesterol from the gut through chylomicron come into the liver. So here we are having more lipid. This is second way. Third way, either hyperglycemia or hyperinsulinemia, more insulin activity, or more glycogen degradation or glucose synthesis. That also leads to fatty acid synthesis. Now, because of all this, more fatty acid will be there, and this fatty acids is ultimately converted into more triglycerides. This liver has to use all these triglycerides so that triglycerides should not be deposited into the liver. But if triglyceride utilization is very less, liver is unable to use all those high amount of triglycerides synthesized, then triglyceride is going to be deposited here, and that leads to non-alcoholic fatty liver diseases. We'll see in the more detail here. Now, see, this is adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is having triacylglycerol. This triacylglycerol is converted into acetyl coenzyme, fat mobilizations, and in certain cases it is going to be rises, it is going to be increased, like in case of diabetes mellitus, in case of starvation, when cells does not have energy source, or alcohol intake. These things normally activates this triglyceride degradation metabolite. So ultimately liver gets acetyl coenzyme A. This acetyl coenzyme A normally will be used for oxidative process and other things, but alcohol inhibits this process. So acetyl coenzyme A will not be oxidized, will not be utilized through Krebs cycle. Now this acetyl coenzyme A is converted to diacylglycerols, and diacylglycerol is involved in two different ways. This diacylglycerol along with choline or some other lipotropic factors like choline, betaine, inositol, methionines, this combines and gives you phospholipids. This is one way. Or this diacylglycerol is converted into triacylglycerols. So diacylglycerol gives us two products in the liver. One is TG, triacylglycerols, or second one is phospholipid in the presence of lipotropic factor. So this triacylglycerols even we are getting from the high fat diet. So more triglyceride will be there. This triglyceride and phospholipids normally synthesizes nascent VLDL. Nascent VLDL is excreted into the circulation and reaching into the tissue. If we are unable to use this VLDL completely or synthesize VLDL completely, then this triacylglycerol is not going to be utilized. How we are not going to use VLDL means there will be a defect in the VLDL synthesis. That is one way. There can be a defect in the VLDL excretion. Second. Third way, if for the VLDL synthesis we require some kind of apolipoproteins. Apoprotein is nothing, it is a proteins. So if liver is having any kind of defect in the protein synthesis, or liver has some kind of antibiotic which inhibits the protein synthesis process, like here puromycin, ethionine, or carbon tetrachloride, which stops the protein synthesis process. So no apolipoprotein synthesis. If apolipoprotein will not be synthesized, means VLDL will not be synthesized. If VLDL is not going to be synthesized, means triglyceride is stored there only. Triglyceride will not be used. When you are not going to use triglyceride, it will be stored into the liver, and that leads to fatty liver, which we are seeing here. So this is the normal process of how non-alcoholic fatty liver disorders occurs. In this case, there are a number of factors, number of endocrine factors also involved in this process. Those are ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormones, insulin, T3, T4, or adrenocorticoids. These are the hormones which also involved. Now comes to alcoholic fatty liver. In case of alcoholic fatty liver, the person who takes more alcohol, content of alcohol will be much more. In that case, alcoholic fatty liver occurs. Now it is caused by excessive alcohol using over the long period. Genetic factor is also responsible for this disease. This alcohol damages hepatocytes, and damaged hepatocytes cannot metabolize fat properly. So if fat will not be metabolized, means fat will be stored there, accumulates there, and accumulation of fat leads to fatty liver. Alcohol addiction is the main cause that affects the liver enzyme also, like ALT, ALP, and AST, which involves in the fat metabolic processes. There are a number of symptoms of fatty livers, like abdominal pain will be there, easy brushing will be there, weight loss is there, excessive fatigueness is there. Then we are having dark urine is there, loss of appetite will be there, nausea can be there, pale stool color will be pale, and jaundice will be there. Means yellowness of the skins, eye, sclera, all these things. So these are the different symptoms because liver is not going to be used. If liver is not going to be used, so bilirubin utilization is not properly, bilirubin is not going to be conjugated. So that leads to jaundice, pale stools, and dark urine. So these are the different symptoms of fatty liver. There are different diagnostic tests by which we can assess the fatty liver. So liver enzymes is one of the most important factor by which we can diagnose fatty liver. These enzymes are ALP, ALT, AST. Some other diagnostic parameters are also there, like triglyceride, total lipid profiles, and blood glucose also gives us some kind of hint. But mainly it will be done by different liver enzymes, hepatic enzymes. So how it will be fatty liver is going to be managed? Basically, the treatment depends on the how fatty liver causes. In case of alcoholic fatty liver disorders, the best treatment is stop intake of alcohol. So if you are not going to take alcohol, the side effect, the effect which liver is going means alcohol is going to affect the liver. That process will be stopped and liver recovery will be done and fatty liver will be subsides. In case of non-alcoholic fatty liver disorder, the only effective treatment is by changing the eating habits or the daily habits or the our daily routines. So weight loss, doing more physical activity, living in more healthy lifestyle. These are the way by which we can manage the fatty liver in case of non-alcoholic fatty livers, and that is majorly mainly occurs. So fatty liver treatments major points are weight loss, exercise regularly, eat healthy foods means less fat intake, consider nutritional supplements, avoid eating fried and high fat foods, and avoid carbonated drinks. So by these things we can avoid non-alcoholic fatty livers, and by stop taking alcohols we can stop alcoholic fatty liver disorders. So that's all for today. Hope you have understand it. If you have any query, any comments, write in the comment box. If you are not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it. You can also follow different updates on these various social media social channels. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.